On the way to the cross, Jesus stopped and took many personal detours to show us the way, the truth, and the life.
On the way to the cross, Jesus gathered 12 students to teach and disciple.
These were the rabbi rejects.
No one wanted them.
Jesus did. He called each one of them by name and made it personal and said,
"Follow me."
On the way to the cross, Jesus was going to heal a sick child when a woman who needed healing of her own touched his robe. Although he was pressed for time, Jesus stopped and asked,
"Who touched me?"
Out steps this apologetic woman, hoping that she was in trouble for what she had done.
She was in a total state of shock when the Son of God made it personal, and he said,
"Woman, because of your faith, you are healed."
on the way to the cross, Jesus went out of his way to comfort the mourning family and friends of Lazarus. Seeing their pain, Jesus wept too. The compassion he showed was astounding.
But it didn't stop there. He called for him.
"Lazarus, come out."
and Lazarus did just that. He walked out of the tomb, alive and well. He called his name. You cannot get any more personal than that.
Not only did he have the power to raise the dead, he had the power to make a personal connection.
On the way to the cross, Jesus experienced opposition from many religious leaders. One leader tried to stump him by asking,
What is the greatest of all commandments?
Jesus had a simple response, but it gave us the most important personal responsibility we have as followers of Christ.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself.
On the way to the cross, Jesus was cornered in the garden by one of his students. For just 30 silver coins, Judas betrayed the Son of God with a kiss on the cheek.
Yet, Jesus called him friend. Jesus made it personal by showing forgiveness instead of judgment.
The guards gathered, and a long night began.
On the way to the cross, Jesus was arrested. He was put on trial illegally. He was whipped, he was beaten, he was mocked, he was spit upon. But he listened as the whole world scoffed at his majestic claim.
That angry mob made it very personal.
On the way to the cross, Jesus would speak to the mourners personally, even though he was the one beaten and bruised.
On the cross, Jesus' hands and his feet were nailed, yet he personally prayed for those who were torturing him.
"Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing."
On the cross, Jesus would hang and suffer for 6 hours until he finally died. The perfect person, the perfect sacrifice.
The cross seemed like a personal victory for those who opposed Jesus.
The cross seemed like a personal tragedy to those who loved Jesus.
After the cross, Jesus' body was placed in the tomb.
But the grave couldn't hold him.
So he did what he personally said he would do. He did what separates him from all other gods.
He rose from the grave.
After the cross and the tomb, on the way back to the Father, Jesus stopped and visited his disciples and at least 500 other eyewitnesses.
Will you let the story of the cross go in one ear and out the other when it comes to the claims of Christ and what he did for you?
Or
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 Will you make it personal?